happy Halloween to you. Good whatever to. Oh, I'm getting an echo. Do you hear that?
Mm-mm.
Wasn't there a moment ago? Audience, are you hearing an echo?
Is it me? I hope it's
Hmm,
not me.
son of a gun. Right before we went on, uh, no echo. Now an echo. All right, no echo for the audience. That's something on my end. I'll have to figure out.
Hmm.
We are talking about Tales from the Crypt today. Introducing Dirty Dalish to this show, an anthology horror from the 90s. How did you enjoy this? This was your very first time jumping into it.
I really liked it. I'm definitely gonna keep watching it after we finish the stream to celebrate my Halloween.
Fantastic. There is a bunch of episodes to get into. There are some for free. I'm This echo is getting to me. I'm actually going to go out and come back in. So, so the host is abandoning the show, and he will be.
Whoa, it's just me now. Whoa, hey guys. How are you doing? How's your Halloween? Any Halloween plans? I carved a pumpkin. What did you guys do? Did you carve a pumpkin? Um, I meant to wear a costume for this, but I forgot. I just kind of dressed up in all black. So, yeah. My costume is not that interesting. Okay, perfect. You're back. I was trying to
Okay,
entertain chat.
I'm back, and oh, what a blunder to start this show out with. For those watching the first time, you can point and laugh at this amateur asshole who's been saying for months, I'd be a great co host. Meanwhile, over a year into this, still having technical difficulties. So thanks for sticking with me. And I actually did not carve a pumpkin. I was a lame-o. A lot of people are now starting to paint the pumpkins.
Painting is lame. You got to get the knife out. Do it old school.
Thanks for the super sticker, armpit vag of. Oh, oh, you.
Oh, tee
Oh,
so
you.
funny. Someone's having a good Halloween now that I'm here.
Thanks for that screaming super sticker. So we're gonna jump right into this after fumbling and stumbling over myself to get this show started. And the last episode you weren't able to get to, but I'll go ahead and go over it from season 6. It is The Assassin.
Was
And
it the best one of all the episodes? Did I not watch the best of the list?
this one was fun. I don't think it's the best of this list. There is actually another one in season 6 that I considered the absolute best of that season, but I was like, I'm going to hold that off for a possible future best episode. So this one is a fun one, kind of silly with the horror. And as much as I shit on Corey Feldman, and a lot of people do, he actually does good in this episode. It's about a woman who's just a regular housewife, and there are a group of assassins that come in, say, you are married to an assassin who used to work with us, and we've got to kill him, and we've got to kill you too. It's through
Oof.
dental records. This former assassin has gone missing, and they finally went to the dentist to get something fixed, and they found him. So we're gonna. At first, they tried to put on "We're the police." Well, the police don't break and enter, and luckily, these are very bumbling assassins coming in to take out our lead. Also, Mike Ehrmantraut. He actually adds a fun little nuance to his character, or it was in the script. He's making up his kill room very much like Dexter, and he says, I got to get to my 12th step program this evening. Is this going to be too long? So, little silliness. And Corey Feldman took the wife down to the basement, is the clip I have, to end her, and she starts flirting with him. She gets on the treadmill and starts presenting. Corey Feldman, he can't help himself. So this is picking up from there.
This is McKay. I'm still gonna kill you when I'm finished. Whoa! Whoa! Hey, Mr. McKay! Mr. McKay! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop! Mr. McKay! Mr. McKay! Stop it! Yeah,
And that's how she takes care of Corey Feldman. From there, she just accidentally kind of runs into the kill room while trying to hide and hits Mike Ehrmantraut in the eye with a high heel. And as you've noticed, a lot of these have a twist. So this one is no difference. When we've got the final assassin, a woman, Gwen, is about to take out the housewife, and she reveals, oh, no, no, no. The assassin is not my husband. It was me. She had a lot of reconstructive surgery, some fantastic transitioning for the early 90s. So that was the twist. It was the whole time she put on this act of just poor, innocent housewife. And at the end, it was me all along you were after.
Whoa. Okay, I was just gonna say, but where's the husband in all this? She's getting chased, saving herself from all these assassins, and he's just chilling. Meanwhile, no, he was not just chilling.
The husband was at work. So the dental records were for her going in. That was the one thing she didn't change. The whole 9 yards hadn't come out yet. So that little dentist messing with your teeth to make them different, she hadn't come across that type of workaround. So that was a fun episode. Even though I kind of spoiled the ending for it, I'd recommend not the scariest, but a fun episode nonetheless. So
One
really
question.
Yes.
So the wife is the husband, right?
Yes, the wife is the man they were looking for.
But my question is, so when she's on the treadmill, she let that guy in her pussy.
It looked like he got in there before she hit the go button. So it does appear that she got some fancy-dancy transitioning surgery for that time.
Right, because he knew no different. He was like, this is the best pussy I'm about to have, and then I'm gonna gank her. Like, damn.
Or she might not have had that surgery. He could just be a filthy, dirty butt kind of man. And he was like, well, this is my pleasure only. Thank you for giving it to me. But she does have the husband. He's definitely checked out her lower bits. So, thumbs up to that 1994 reconstructive surgery on the vagina.
Yeah, good for her. Or good for them.
Captain Miserable, yes, a Nikki Norton type of lady. And another super sticker. Thanks for the 99 cents, Victorville Sliz. And you're being silly. Sounds like you're just going to be a silly one throughout this episode. But onto the ones that you have seen. The season 5 episode is an eerie one. The death of some salesman with Tim Curry. Certainly you're familiar with Tim Curry, right?
Oh, of course. When I saw he was in this one, I was excited. I knew it was going to be good.
One of those where it's starring Tim Curry and Tim Curry and Tim Curry.
It can't get better than that.
With him terrorizing Ed Begley Jr. Ed Begley Jr. does have a punchable face. So great casting choice. And this is one, I don't know how many kick off with gratuitous sex scenes because we get boobs throughout the series, not all the time. But this one, it starts off with Ed Begley Jr. and a small town girl, and you're like, why are you being so lewd about it? Sometimes you try to work it into a plot. You're just giving it to me up front, but that actually is a plot point. As this salesman, Ed Begley Jr., goes into a backwoods family's house and gets kidnapped, and has some relations with the daughter, Tim Curry.
Oh, yeah. I was shocked when it started out. Just went right into them boning. It wasn't the worst like sex scene that I'd ever seen, but you're right. It serves its purpose because he's a sleazeball. Like after that scene, you kind of don't like him.
Not at all. He comes right from the beginning and says, "Hold on, I've got to check something." YouTube, I checked these clips, and we're having another technical difficulty. I will have to check my
YouTube.
I will have to check my Gmail. We're still going live here. That might have just been someone messing with us, because I'm not seeing anything about that. Back to the episode. Nope, no emails about that.
Yeah.
Now live on your channel.
There's
Yep,
someone trying to mess with you.
That was someone messing with us. Thank you for getting me a bit sidetracked. Back to the death of some salesman episode. And so we should get right into the clip that I have prepared. Maybe that'll help me get back onto my train of thought. Oh, that's a different episode. We want this one, Salesman Like You.
I don't care about who those other guys are. Well, they're salesmen.
It would help if I shared it, wouldn't it? So I am always fascinated by people playing multiple roles, and I think that they probably filmed each one of these characters on a different day. This is like massive amounts of makeup that he had to put on. I do not see Tim Curry being able to do two of these characters in a single day, because that is just hours in the makeup chair.
I don't care about who those other guys are. Well, they're salesmen like you. Like that guy what sold us the crummy microwave. Didn't work. And the vacuum and the color TV. Wasn't no color TV till I fixed it. Now it's color TV. Really?
Fantastic look on Tim Curry's face. Yep, you're gonna join him, buddy.
That's the thing about Tim Curry is, even though you know he's all three of those characters, he's good at all three of them. Like I love him as the wife, I love him as the daughter. He's perfect in any creepy show or movie.
Everything about this is eerie. Two of these episodes that I sent you, it's someone being trapped in a house, and that was, for some reason, that was really like a fear of mine. And all that I watched as a kid, the people being trapped in a house really got me. Maybe that works into my kinks of being a prey in the primal play of like, this thing that scares me is also a turn on. So this was my kinks manifesting of like, oh no, I'm being forced to stay in this one place by, well, I would want my mistress, but here we have got, I think it was about a half a dozen salesmen that we saw that this family had killed. This guy who sold us the vacuum cleaner and the microwave.
Yeah, I didn't have that specific fear or kink. You're just
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
what put
I hope I don't get trapped on a treadmill with a hot lady.
Yeah, this one really was one of the more scary ones for me. It's just very eerie of being trapped by this family of inbreds that,
Mhm.
and seeing, like, I tried to pick out the technical, like, okay, that's a body double, that's Tim Curry. The DVD actually came with an extra of the original Death of Some Salesman comic, just very much more simple. Of what here let me show you what we did to those former salesmen, the vacuum cleaner salesmen there. What are you selling? Knives? Well, we'll test them on you. So they took this one into a much eerier direction with that sex scene is still with me of humpbacked inbred Tim Curry. The body doesn't lie. And then jumping on top of him, his face, Ed Begley's face, as he's like, "Come on, penis, come on, penis, we're gonna die if you don't get hard. Come on, penis."
Would ya? If it was life or death?
If it was life or death, at some point I did think that I had erectile dysfunction because I was getting with too many women I was unattracted to. So my dick is selective. It would
Mhm.
be quite a battle between the brain and the pecker to be like, you got to do it. No, you got to. Come on. Just think about the hot girl that we had in the beginning, and that's what's so fun about that gratuitous sex scene. It plays into the plot of he used to be just on top of the world, and now he's with humpback Tim Curry.
Well, it goes back to the last thing he says to that girl in the beginning too. Like, I told you I loved you and you took your panties off.
And he did the now you're flashing me back to Tim Curry taking his panties off. That was the way that he did it. Everything was just so creepy.
Just the most unsexy scene you've ever seen.
So, out of the five that you saw, where would you rank this one? We're about to get to the other ones, but in the 5 episodes you saw, how'd you like this one? Top one, bottom of the five?
So we're about to get to my top episode, but this would be the second one that I really liked.
And the other episode also with someone being trapped in a house. This one kind of like a Fraser Crane esque therapist and on air, and there's a Howard Stern guy played by Robert Patrick T2 who's taken his spot. He needs something to save. So this problem child that keeps calling in, we're doing a house call. And like that episode, they get stuck in the house with the actress from Poltergeist. People will remember her from, and her very spoiled daughter, who we see running around in a mask. So this one was your favorite of the batch of five.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't expect it to end the way that it did, mainly because I was hoping that his blonde assistant would be the one to survive.
And unfortunately, both the ladies were taken out first. The one just kind of we didn't see the attack. It was kind of like an Evil Dead. The child running up on her, and we get the first person point of view. So we just see the aftermath of her. I think with a noose around her neck in the bed. The blonde lady, you can kind of see there's something amiss with the fan that rips her head off. They've got razor blades on it. You can kind of see that beforehand. But that was a really cool kill of we're going to lower this fan. She's not paying attention.
Man, he was mean to her even at her death, like calling her incompetent before she gets her head cut off. That's why I don't like working for men. If I get my head cut off, I'm going to be insulting myself while it happens.
They do set it up very nicely that the main protagonist is rather an antagonist. They are someone who you want to see their comeuppance, as we got with Ed Begley Jr. We're kind of rooting for him to get out, but actually, in that episode, I forgot to point out Yvonne DiCarlo, Lily Munster makes an appearance in the beginning. So Ed Begley in the last episode conned a small town hot lady into some sex, and he conned an aging Lily Munster out of a bunch of money for the same thing he tries to con the Tim Currys with, a plot of land for in a cemetery. So it kind of rooting for him, but these main characters are all shitheads. Like a film noir aspect, where the main person we're following gets their comeuppance at the end.
I did end up liking what was he, like a child psychologist or something? I did like him, even though he was a cunt.
He was very pretentious, very full of himself, and he thought he figured out pretty early on, we're not dealing with a child. We are dealing with a crazy old woman. So that's something that we're like, yep, that makes sense. The crazy old woman has gone nutso. She's asking for help and then killing people when they actually do help her. But a twist on that. Here's the little girl with her. He just attacked her. He just strangled her and threw her to the ground. Her mask and wig came off.
I know
here
what
she
you're
is.
thinking. I spoiled her to death, and I suppose you're right. Amazing, ain't she? Been dead 40 years, and she's still busy as a bee.
Been dead for 40 years. So she's just been a mother to this zombie. Yeah, I guess this is like one of two zombie episodes because she's the undead at this point.
I did like when he said you fix bad behavior with worse behavior and then starts choking the kid out.
Yes. Good psychology always beats bad behavior. He said that several times throughout the episode. That is his motto. And then being tied up there in the attic, worse behavior is what beats bad behavior. Then we see the very end, we see all the different psychologists that made house calls over the year just rotting away in that attic that he's now going to join. So that one also gave me the creeps because the being stuck in a house, that's something that just gave me the willies growing up. And that's why both those episodes really stuck out to me as like, oh, I was scared of those back in the day. And I'm having fun with those now again.
I'm getting some child psychology thoughts in my head. Like, why are you afraid of being trapped in your home so much? Does it have to go back with something traumatic? You didn't like staying home? No, I'm kidding.
Now you're taking the part of the psychologist here, and he is dead, so we do need a replacement psychologist for his radio show. And Robert Patrick got his nice time slot, so we do have a late night psychology show of trying to analyze why do people into kinks get into those kinks. Sometimes it is plain as day of like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bit more nuanced. Sometimes you're just born with it.
Sometimes you're just born with it.
Sometimes you're just a freak from the beginning. And that is...
Yeah, like that kid on the screen.
Well, she had a good about 9 years of being a human before she became an actual freak. There are 2 different freak show episodes of Tales from the Crypt you can check out. One with Ernie Hudson as an evil clown. I forget the other one has a mummy and a two-faced man. So it's fun seeing the different. A lot of these are just like true crime type of episodes, uh, such as the one I chose from season 3, Carry On Death. I love this one because of how simple it is. It's two guys in a desert, including the very dreamy Kyle MacLachlan as the criminal and who's escaped from prison, making it to the Mexican border. How'd you like this one? Because this one was just very simple, kind of slow moving at times because there wasn't too much to it, but I really enjoyed the gore at the ending and just the running away here. Actually, I guess answer that after this clip, because this is where the dynamic changes from the cop just chasing him around the desert to
Like I said, Diggs, I'm taking you in. Fuck you. No. Fuck you. No! Oh, shit!
So that's our plot. He has got 6 or 10. It's a few miles away that he has to go to get to the Mexican border, now handcuffed to a dead body. So how did you like this more simple plot?
I want to start off by saying I would love to be as petty as that cop if someone killed me in the way this man did. Like, I would love to go out doing something that, like, well, now you're not going to get the handcuff off, bitch. Like, love that for the cop. But I would have to say this was my least favorite episode because it pissed me off how, like, I get it. He's a criminal. But how fucking stupid do you have to be? You have everything you need right there, right in this house or this shack to get himself free. There's glass right there. Cut the man's fucking arm off. But no, he waits. He waits till he's disoriented to try something stupid.
That's actually what my bottom episodes are as well of Tales from the Crypt, where there's some type of decision, some type of logic that's just like this is too plot conveniency wise. So I actually overlooked that. You're absolutely right that
Could have broken
he's
the
got the
cop's
tools.
wrist too. Cop's already dead. He could have broken his wrist, slipped the cuff off the cop. Done. Go fucking Mexico, bro. But no, he took the hard way.
I see your complaints there. And that actually didn't even enter my mind until you said that, because I was just along for the ride at this point. I liked the twist of like, now you're stuck to this dead man, that I overlooked that little hole of like, you could have taken this cop, broken his wrist. Yeah, the glass, didn't even think of that. I will point out the soundtrack, the score done by a synthesizer. There's many episodes. Many of these were made for very cheap. Actually, probably all of them were. So when it came to music, oh, that synthesizer.
No! Oh, shit!
Yeah, that music, it detracts rather than adding to me most of the time.
It really brings you back to like X-Files kind of a vibe, those shows, when you hear that like soundtrack to it. They all had those like really dramatic boop boop, you know?
Those big stings are right there. And Frog Toady says the Chop Poker episode is great. Also directed I forget his name, but he directed The Man Who Was Death, who we talked about last week. And this actually reminds me, I haven't been talking about the wraparound segments with the Crypt Keeper. I absolutely loved that puppet. When I was just a little kid, my parents very wisely would not let me watch this show. But I convinced them I like the puppet. Let me see the puppet. Even as a 4-year-old, I wasn't scared of the puppet. I loved the Crypt Keeper. And the first episode that we talked about, The Assassin, has William Sadler, also from The Man Who Was Death, playing Death, who he played in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. They have a rock, paper, scissor game and start chopping off hands. So that was a long one too. How do you like the wraparounds? The Crypt Keeper, I'm still very impressed with. They had 6 puppeteers on it. Do you think that was what do you think of the Crypt Keeper wraparounds?
Like the little dummy guy at the beginning and the end of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It really makes the show like that much more enjoyable. Like I get excited for the beginning because the little like, oh, this is what we're gonna get into. It's a nice tease, and I did see that it took a lot of people for them to animate it or whatever it is.
6 puppeteers. At the end of the episode, they have 6 people as the puppeteers for him. And the voice, John Cassier, if you listen to the first season, he's being more creepy and going along with. He gets much more wacky as the series goes along with his voice. He always had the laugh. And the first season, they didn't dress him up much. They started having fun with him in later season. Starting in season 2, they started having much more fun. Took the cowl off of him, put him in the Home Shopping Network for the Death of a Salesman one. The last one we had, he was the radio DJ. So and actually, the opening theme kind of did frighten me as a child. The Danny Elfman theme going through that very creepy house, that did kind of frighten me. But not the puppet, not the Crypt Keeper.
Because when he starts talking, you're just like, who is this zany motherfucker?
And originally, he wasn't that zany. He was a creepy Crypt Keeper with just a menacing little laugh. So the wacky Crypt Keeper, that was definitely fun. So we've got actually we're just rolling right through these. So this one they did have the horror effect at the end. The whole time Diggs here, Kyle MacLachlan, is being stalked by a vulture, and they get that nice little practical effect. The vulture wanted a more fresh meal than the cop. He broke his neck. He's still dying. That's the meal the vulture wanted.
Yeah, that was brutal. Oh, seeing his broken neck was it just made me feel so creeped out. Like it gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Him, as you were mentioning, deciding to take the axe, make an improvised axe out in the desert, and he is tired. The camera is showing he's seeing double, and when he's gonna chop the hand off of the cop, nope, just bleeding out. That gave me such like a,
you knew it was gonna
on
happen.
like cringe for a good in a good way of him falling down the
I
cliff,
know. Oh,
the hand
and it ripping his hand off. Oh no, that was gross. That was so gross. And I got mad when he was making the little makeshift axe to hit himself with, because you can see he's not even like attempting to like angle it and where his arm is out of the way. I love the moment when he hits it, and it's like how you would hurt yourself in real life, that moment of like,
Fuck.
yeah, then you realize and you're like, I killed myself. I basically killed myself here. And then he falls off the cliff and yeah, you're dead, buddy, but not yet.
That was a great read of fuck. You're absolutely right. The building of realizing what he did and dropping in that fuck.
I felt it. I was like, that is exactly what I do when I hurt myself severely. You take a moment to realize what you did.
So that sounds like it was at the bottom of your 5 of these. Yeah, I was such a big fan. I talk about like the technicalities. I always take into account. That's another reason I absolutely adore the Tim Curry episode of the difficulty, like the simplicity of this one. I like it. Takes me back to the first Saw: 2 guys in a room, 2 guys in a desert. And then the something difficult, like having 3 out of your 4 actors being the same person in heavy prosthetics. I just find it cool. I like the behind the scenes type of aspects like that of this. This was like definitely hours for Tim Curry to get into this makeup. No way he did this multiple times a day trying to figure out how they did that.
You gotta take a nap after you take off the makeup for the first character, you know?
I can't imagine him being able to do 2 in the same day. The putting it on, doing all the scenes, and then putting on another one. That is just so many hours in that makeup. And I should have got a clip of the daughter.
Oh my god, yeah.
I got the 2 parents, but the daughter they made as disgusting as possible.
I don't know. You know what? For inbred Southern hunchback whale of a woman, she wasn't as ugly as I thought she was going to be. I was like, you know what? If you had to choose death or spend the rest of your life with her, I could probably bear 1 year.
1 year. I've said that as well. I could spend 1 year doing just about anything. But actually, we did jump ahead from the ending of that one. Ed Begley could not wait a year. After having sex with Winona, it's time for a wedding, and during the wedding, it looks like she kills both her parents, and then he's like, fantastic, now you die. But nope, all a ruse. This inbred family, like the father said, no one wants Winona. They've come up with quite an intricate plan to catch this person lying. But at least Winona got laid for once. Good for Winona.
You know what? How many almost weddings has Winona had?
That's what you wonder at the end. With as complicated as that ruse was to find him out and then show, we was just acting. This is fake blood on my wedding dress. And the final shot of the gunshot, that was really fun as well. But that's how Winona gets her men. Is
Hey, at least her pa is really, well, maybe not her pa. I think her ma was more dedicated to getting her man.
Yeah, Paul was like, it's not happening. Ma did seem to have some hope that Ed Begley Jr. would be the suitor for her daughter, but Pa, nah, just stick to the plan. He's gonna show his true colors.
You just gotta paralyze a man so he won't run away from her.
And yeah, they didn't do that. They didn't go the full misery route of hobbling Ed Begley Jr. Mm-hmm. So we've got the effects in these are really fun, as we talked about with the makeup, with the vulture eating the eye out of dreamy Kyle MacLachlan. here at the end of this one. And the other episode that I asked you to watch was the ventriloquist dummy. This might be my favorite of all the episodes. We have two comedy, huge names in comedy, Don Rickles and Bobcat Goldthwait in this one. And you clapped. It looks like you're of the same opinion that this, of the five you watched, would this be number one?
Well, actually, the fourth season, that episode was my number one, but
the new arrival,
ventriloquist dummy was really fucking good.
And they do have kind of like the same kind of twist where you, as an audience member, figure out what's going on here. But nope, little twist to that.
Yeah, seriously. I really like scary movies that have to do with a dummy. I remember growing up, there was this Goosebumps special with like the dummy's called Slappy.
Night of the Living Dummy. I remember reading those. I don't recall seeing the episode, but the design was so creepy.
I used to ask my mom to get it off Netflix for me, because back in the day, Netflix, they used to send like the DVD. So I would go to my mom and I'd be like, Mom, can you get me that Goosebumps Chucky movie? I want to watch that one, because I could never remember what the episode name was called. And she would always yell at me like, no, you can't watch Chucky. That's a scary movie. And I would say to her, but you let me watch it before. And then she'd realize that I meant the Goosebumps Slappy.
The Goosebumps Chucky, not the Chucky.
Yeah.
Which did scare the hell out of me as a kid. When that was brand new, and the scene where he reveals himself to the mom, turns his head around, you fucking talk, or whatever that first line was, I ran out of the room as a little kid when that was brand new and first saw that.
I didn't watch those movies until I became an adult. So I feel like I missed out, because whenever you're like, oh, I saw these scary movies when I was a kid and I got so spooked, I was like, shit, I didn't get to have that experience.
The ones after that, they got very goofy and silly, but that first one was pretty straightforward and hadn't been seen yet. With all the sequels, you can't pull that scare again of you fucking talk to get little kid me. You got it once. You're not getting it in Child's Play 2. And Child's Play 3 stinks.
Did you watch the Chucky show?
There was a show with Chucky?
It got canceled recently, and I understand why it finally got canceled. It was mildly enjoyable up until the last season. They got canceled because they decided, oh, let's make it political. And there was just, some things don't need to have a political take.
There is just so much we're bogged down with, where the political opinions are forefront and the plot is second. I wish that those people would watch Twilight Zone from back in the 60s. That they put the plot first and they put their agenda second to make something good that gets across their message. Where, anytime today, it's very rare to see that political takes in movie and TV that isn't hitting you in the head with a hammer.
Like, I'm watching this to forget about real life problems. Stop reminding me that the president sucks.
We never did get a Weekend at Bernie's parody. I was waiting for something to come out of that. Maybe we'll get it after this election, but I've been using that joke for years, and I know it's hack. A lot of people came up with that joke.
Hey, if you keep making it long enough, people will remember your face with that joke.
Thanks for stopping in, Victoria. I do read chat at times when I have a guest. It's more difficult for me to read the chat and stay engaged with my guest. So thanks for dropping by and chatting. But my other shows are usually much more chat heavy because my brain just explodes when I'm trying to hold on a conversation with another person and the chat as well. So on to this version of Chucky, if you will. The Don Rickles is our elder ventriloquist. He's very talented, and he's retired. There was a big fire, something very terrible. When we see him in the future, when Bobcat Goldthwait is like, I want to be just like you. He's got his hand wrapped up, so you're like, oh, he burned his hand in the accident. And it becomes more apparent that he killed a woman that night and then started a fire to cover it up. We get an act by Bobcat Goldthwait, fucking terrible. He did not belong on a stage with his dummy at all. So he still wants to be a ventriloquist. Goes to his house. Hey, check me out. It was terrible. And another lady ends up dead. She's doused in gas. Same method. So Bobcat Goldthwait's figured it out. You're a murderer. You murderer. I'm going to get you. I'm going to turn you in. How could you do it? It's not me. It was the dummy. So now we think he's a crazy person.
I really thought that was because that was the second episode I had watched, so I hadn't realized at this point each episode has that weird twist to it, so it's not going to be what you expect. I thought it really was going to be just the ventriloquist that he was initially inspired by. I thought he was going to be a murderer, but no.
There are a good many of these episodes that are straightforward into crime and murder like that. This was not one of them. The clip I have is of the reveal where Bobcat Goldthwait, come on, he's just a dummy. What are you doing? He can't hurt you. He's just a dummy.
Oh, I know that whole time he's explaining. I'm like, you're so wrong, dude. Shut up.
Take a look. Go ahead. Look. Look at it. That's right, a mask. Morty's like me. He's real. He's flesh and blood. In fact, Morty is my brother. My brother is dead. Morty. We're born like this.
So Bobcat Goldthwait just broke the last of his morphine. So you're an addict. You're a murderer. He's been using that morphine, so this little freak of a man won't kill a woman again. And that's what happened. The first thing he went out into public. What I really like about this puppet, when he first reveals it here, I figured it was just kind of static, but his eyes are moving. They do have some animatronics in that version of the puppet as well, as a more close-up version. Very creepy effects here. So, like your favorite episode, The New Arrival, this sets up, okay, you told us what the twist is, I see it. Nope. They're gonna take a turn before we've got another twist.
A lot of this, I'm like, does it just have to do with people being inbred? Is he another inbred? Is that why he's got his little conjoined twin hand?
That there's two episodes that have weird conjoined twins. The other one is a more funny, silly one. This one does feel creepy rather than funny, silly. That I didn't take it. I didn't think that we had a whole bunch of inbred episodes. I just always thought of Death of Some Salesman as the inbred episode.
Well, yeah, that is the inbred episode. But this, it has me wondering, like, there were reasons for people's deformities. Like, yeah, nobody's growing their twin out of their hand in real life, but there's reasons for some people, their feet, they don't got, they come out the womb, they ain't got feet, and that's because I don't know. Actually, I couldn't tell you why they don't come out with their feet.
There was a famous
That happens in
circus
the UK.
freak who had a conjoined twin whose like head was inside his stomach, like his body was protruding from his stomach, and that twin was alive, and that just freaked the hell out of me. That's an actual real one of the conjoined twins, and the one whose head isn't even on the outside, who's actually cognizant to some degree.
Well, we can all be glad that I did not come out a conjoined twin. Me and my twin came out not conjoined.
Hooray!
Yay!
You have all your limbs. Didn't need the old didn't even need the old Bart Simpson treatment with Hugo.
We passed on that one.
It does get pretty silly after the reveal of Morty being a twin, and Don Rickles looks like he is gonna kill Bobcat Goldthwait with a cleaver, but no, I'm going to kill my brother, who's just fine. Don Rickles bleeds out, he's dead, but the twin, he's free, he's roaming around.
Oh no! He cut the twin off. And then the twin jumps on him and bites his throat out. That's how he dies.
That's right. He's bleeding very badly. But then the twin, I forgot that aspect of.
Yeah, because he was like, "Oh, you're not free of me. I'm free of you." And then he bites his neck. I was like, "Oh, that's fucking brutal. That's disgusting." But the next twist, where what is the other actor or comedian?
Bobcat Goldthwait. I'd have to go to the internet notes to find the name of the character, but Bobcat Goldthwait, he makes a deal. Actually, it's silly that the twin Morty ends up in a meat grinder, and all right, I'm gonna end you. You're over. Let's make a deal. So he gets his dream of being a ventriloquist with Morty. He's just holding him. Yeah, the extra twist where Morty decides to renegotiate their deal. You're not going to just be holding me anymore. I'm your conjoined twin now. Somehow,
which he should have known it was gonna go south.
Yeah, somehow merges himself with Bobcat Goldthwait's hand, and that was a fun little extra. We thought we had all the twists here with Morty coming out, and then someone's gonna die. Nope, that extra little now he's a freak.
I also have to say, when he's trying to after the twin gets cut off and it's scurrying around the floor and he's trying to catch it, he hurls some pretty good insults at the man. I don't remember them, but they were fucking brutal.
That was Morty's shtick. He was Don Rickles was the straight man to the funny Morty, so he could not. He's been doped up. He's had these one-liners waiting to come out, and now, I didn't write any of them down. That's something I should have done, because they were silly. Of this puppet performer no longer doped up. You stink doing it with that silly voice up here as well.
Yeah, this one was good. And again, it's just, I feel like they don't nail using like dummies in scary movies the way they did here anymore. Like I said with Chucky, when you watch the movies now or you watch the show, it's not the same as watching the first movie, where it was creepy. It had that like little bit of zaniness to it, but they end up leaning way too much into the silliness going forward. I need another dummy movie where they're actually brutal with it.
which is some episodes. I didn't include some of the sillier ones in the ones to watch. Some are just straight up comedy with a pinch of horror in them. But I chose these ones since you said you were a horror fan, to a little bit of an array of what they've got going on with murderers and film noir type of crime and monsters. We have, as I said, 2 episodes with mummies, 2 episodes with zombies. There's a silly one with a vampire. I can remember 2 of them. One of them wasn't particularly good. One of them is absolutely silly with Malcolm McDowell playing a vampire. But
Like I said, I'm definitely gonna keep watching more of these episodes even after stream. So you've exposed me to this show. You've gotten me addicted to something that I should have already known about.
Something that everyone in the 90s knew about. This was an absolute staple of HBO, one of their early hits that they brought back until the movies started. The movies, I definitely remember Demon Knight was a fun movie. The Bordello of Blood, it's got a bordello and boobies, and I don't think I finished the movie. There's some people.
You finished something.
Oh yeah. Once I finished there was no reason to go forward with the movie.
Right.
So when they started making movies, they sent for season 7, the crew was busy making a movie. So over in the UK, they filmed some episodes. Those just aren't the quality of other seasons. Some people say that season 6 isn't that good. There's an episode with Humphrey Bogart. Actually, they use like the Forrest Gump technology. Actually, the Crypt Keeper is dressed up as Forrest Gump in the opening of the episode. As
I love that.
because like that technology of inserting Tom Hanks into all these historical events was really new at the time. So making an episode starring long dead Humphrey Bogart, they're making a nod, and they just love dressing the Crypt Keeper up. Of like we're the thing they did over there in Forrest Gump, we're doing here, and the episode stars Humphrey Bogart. Dennis Miller, Billy Zane was the star of Demon Knight, and he is just so charismatic, and it's so fun. Dennis Miller in Bordello of Blood, and Corey Feldman. I shit on Corey Feldman being terrible in that movie, and yet one of the ones I brought to the table here, I'm like, Corey Feldman actually did a good job. He was, for what he was supposed to do, Corey Feldman was top notch.
You gotta give props where props are due.
So there's 93 of these. I reviewed, the first season was just a kind of like a test season of 6 episodes. And then they have like 13, 15, 18 every season around after that. So, yeah, definitely what's kind of your favorite movie monster? Maybe I can point you to some episodes. Like I said, the vampires, the zombies.
I like zombies. I'm a big zombie movie fan.
There is, one other zombie episode. So I'm going to have to find which one that is to send that through yours. And so many stars. If you have a favorite star from the 90s,
they're probably in it, huh?
They probably made an appearance somewhere. Tom Hanks directed an episode, and he has a cameo. Like the big stars that they get. Michael J. Fox wanted to direct an episode. And they were like, just make a cameo. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think the only thing he ever directed was an episode of Tales from the Crypt. And they were like, just make a cameo with the Crypt Keeper. Do a pump you up with the Crypt Keeper at the beginning.
Man, that's crazy. I did not realize how many like celebrities pretty much and actors had like a hand in this, whether they wrote something, made a little appearance, actually acted in it. There's just I don't know. There's a lot of passion put in this. I appreciate it.
Absolute passion project from Robert Zemeckis and Richard Donner, who both directed episodes in the first season. And Richard Donner directed this episode here, the ventriloquist dummy. So he came back for another. Kyle MacLachlan directed an episode. We, of course, saw his 3D eyes here in this episode. It's one that's more straightforward, nothing supernatural. And one of the lesser twists in the Kyle MacLachlan directed episode, As Ye Sow. But I still find it a quality one, without having all the bells and whistles that some of the other ones do.
Right. This one didn't have to rely on like a creepy twist. It's just banking on everybody has a fear of like being trapped or like getting lost in the desert. And what's worse than getting lost in the desert is carrying dead weight along with you.
So close to his goal as well. He thought he was going to be Aaron Imholt and hit that goal of Mexico, but nope, not today, Kyle MacLachlan. Diggs was his name.
I would never, the whole time he was talking shit to what was it, a vulture? What is the bird coming after him? Vulture? Okay.
Yeah. The vulture.
He's talking shit to the vulture the whole time. You know what? He should have put some respect on that vulture's name. Maybe then the vulture wouldn't have the vulture would have eaten his eyes no matter what. But he was talking shit to the vulture, and I was like, the vulture's gonna be really happy when it gets to eat you. Really fucking happy.
And he did with. I do like the when you look at it, you can really look at the fake head that the vulture is eating out of. You can see that it's a model, but it works for what it is. If you don't really look up close to it, and of course it wasn't HD on HBO back in the day, so they were able to get away with more things. I did get a giggle when he falls off after his hand is cut off. They've got a shot of him falling. Both his hands are still there. Just a fun little mistake. But what were you gonna do to not see his hand?
Put some sand over it. I don't know. This is why I don't work movie magic.
Yeah, I do know a few tricks, but in order to have his hand not be there, that would be they ran out of money. They had next to no money for all of these episodes, so it's fun to see what they put together, and understandable why they have that synthesizer kind of messing up the soundtrack, because we need some type of music. All we can afford is one man and a synthesizer.
This makes me realize when you and I watch things, you notice more than I do. Because like I didn't notice the hand. I didn't notice the razor blades on the fan. So those are things that they should have been so obvious to me. It was like right in my face, and I'm just like, in my own universe. Wow.
The fan was
her
something
head
I
got
had to
cut
check.
off by the fan.
I had to check that after the fact, because I was like, it's just a fan. Like it should just be like, ow. But I had to go back and okay, they did put razor blades. That does make sense. Why she just didn't go fucking ow? Why?
Also, when he points out to her that the fan is starting to come down, she looks up, and she's like, what is it? And instead of moving, when the fan's still coming down on her, why would you not move? Like, you see it's coming down. Why are you gonna look up and not move? I don't know. That was my complaint. Like, I think she had time to get out of the way, but he did say she was incompetent. So women are dumb.
So he was actually right. As much as we were on her side, when he called her incompetent, her just letting that decapitation happen proved, yep, he was. I was on your side, and then you showed your incompetence. Damn it!
but he was so mean to her because she was trying to hype him up for his radio show, and he goes, can you shut up? You're not my mom. She could suck your dick, though.
I think that bridge sailed a long time ago, judging on his dynamic with the people that he worked with. Robert Patrick, he might have been able to get that deal with his shock jockery, but this pretentious type of Fraser Crane guy, nah,
I don't know.
he wasn't getting any.
He could if he wasn't such a bitch, you know?
But alas, he was a bitch, and he ended up dying to the hands of. I should have written down all the character names. The little girl.
Her name
Sometimes
was
I take great
Felicity.
notes. Felicity. Yes, Felicity was the little girl's name. The girl who died decades ago.
Mm-hmm. So at that point, what do you feel the little daughter is? Do you think it's just the embodiment of like a mother loving her kid to like a detriment in a sense, you know? Like she loved the kid so much that like it was
Spoiled to
bad
death.
for her. Yeah.
Some things you just got to roll with. The episode that I talked to Spurgsnake about, where a guy gets some back alley surgery and it gets a cat's 9 lives. That's something that you've just gonna be like, okay, we're rolling with it. The rest of the episode is really fun. But if we're gonna harp on that's some silly bullshit. The same with spoiling the girl to death and having her being an undead, spoiled little girl. Spoiled to death is just a kind of a silly phrase that it's like, all right, that's what happened. It's exactly what happened. She was spoiled to death.
Right. And I'm over here trying to look more into it. It's like, what kind of witch rituals did you do to bring your daughter back? And no, it's like you said, simple as that. Spoiled to death. Just get over it.
Some episodes do explain that. There's a couple times voodoo is invoked in the show. Sometimes, well, not sometimes. One episode with Hank Azaria, where a mad scientist doctor is looking for the soul, and there is a dead body going around without a soul. So sometimes they explain it. Sometimes it's like, I just have to accept what this is in order to enjoy this.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even need to have a deeper explanation than it's a creepy ass fucking daughter.
So that was the episodes that I introduced Dalish to, 96 total. So there are a bunch more to jump into, and I have a lot of recommendations if you want to jump around or just go into season 2, 2 through 6. There are the very few stinkers. There's some stinkers, but for the most part, these are some very good horror anthology stories that were being seen.
Yeah, I would overall give the Tales from the Crypt a 10 out of 10.
Excellent. Glad that you'll be checking out some more episodes, and I just recommend staying away from season 7. Once you when you're like, I want to see what happened there. That's a market drop.
Ooh, I'm gonna watch all the good seasons, and I'm gonna dip into 7 just to see what you're talking about, and I'll immediately be horrified and just click out.
You might be able to power through it. Expecting it to be bad, you might come through it of like, oh, that was average. So let's get those expectations low, so they'll either be met or you'll be like, oh, that was average. That wasn't awful.
Okay. Well, I'll go into it then thinking that it's garbage. The worst thing I'll ever see in my life. That way, when it's just okay, I won't be so disappointed.
And the animated episode, the very last episode, kind of like a precursor to Adult Swim. The animated episode, to me, the best episode of season 7, because it's just silliness and ultra violence of the three pigs. It's the three little pigs told with ultra violence. The last episode ever.
Okay. Then that's the one I'll dip into if I go check out season 7. I have to watch that one.
So glad I could introduce you to this horror show. There's so many to go through, and as I said, you will come like the Brad Pitt episode. You might be able to be like, oh, Brad Pitt, he's dreaming. I find that to be one of the worst. That's near the bottom of the barrel for me. The Brad Pitt episode.
Is he not like a good actor in it? Is the episode itself just kind of boring? Like what?
Yeah, after expecting some type of wild twist, that one is just too straightforward. As I said, of the enjoying Carry On Death with Kyle MacLachlan being just straightforward, two guys in a desert. The Brad Pitt episode, yeah, it's completely the story. He's not the lead. He's the one of the supporting characters. Well, the main antagonist to our protagonist, and it just
didn't work.
I could probably try to. I actually do enjoy trying to rewrite things that didn't work, and that one. You're not going to be fulfilled at the end of it, unless you just want to watch Brad Pitt being a dreamy Brad Pitt.
That's really what they were banking on for that episode. Oh, they'll watch it. The ladies love Brad Pitt. I'm not gonna go run to watch the Brad Pitt episode.
So thanks for joining today. We've which you said your favorite was the new arrival, the radio host being stuck in the house. Number 2 was the ventriloquist dummy. I guess the death of some salesman would be next on your list, because you weren't a fan of Carry On Death very much.
I did like that it was in the Mojave. I liked that. The Joshua trees. That was about all I enjoyed of that episode, because it reminds me of where I live. But otherwise, like I said, he should have just broke the cop's wrists, or
good old
grabbed
Southern
the
California.
chart of the broken window and hacked that shit off. But that's just me.
And I did give you the full synopsis for the assassin. It is a fun episode. Kind of not as scary as it is fun. I don't think. They have some fun things going on with the camera, of doing some first person shots of these people. Your husband is a killer. Of them trying to convince her before they realize, well, we're hitmen too. You got to die as well. Definitely give that one a recommendation.
Where would you rank the episodes? Like, for you, how did they fall?
Ventriloquist dummy was the top of what we watched. What would I put? I would put Death of Some Salesman second. I really like Carry On Death. It's a photo finish for these two, to me. But Tim Curry just takes it over the top, being able to play 3 different inbred weirdos. And then
why does he do that so good?
He anything he wants to be, he plays just fantastically.
Mm-hmm.
I think the new arrival I would put under the assassin, despite this being something that frightened me, of being trapped in a house, and more of a horror episode, whereas the assassin, I just had a lot of fun with the assassin.
Mm-hmm. See, the reason that one's obviously last is for me is just because I didn't watch it, but it does seem like an enjoyable episode. It's not last because I don't think it would be good. I'm sure it would be up there.
And Frog Tony definitely pushing the first episode, the first and the second episode ever. The Man Who Was Death with Bill Sadler and the Christmas episode are definitely on the top of many people's lists. So those from season 1, damn near the whole season. The one with Joe Pantaleone that I mentioned, of him getting the cats' lives. That one I don't put as high as Bergsnake does. He ranked that one number 2 of the first season episodes, but episode 1 and 2 of season 1, definitely 2 thumbs up.
Maybe that's what I'll go watch after this stream. I ran out of like scary movies to watch. I watched all of the good ones before Halloween.
Then yeah, you have many hours of this one to jump into. Last time I talked to you, you were unfamiliar with Slither. Did you check that out this season?
I did not. Thank you for reminding me, because 'tis the season. I should watch that today. I ran out of everything good.
James Gunn horror movie from after one of his first from after his time with Trauma. Are you familiar with Trauma? Trauma.
You're gonna learn that I know nothing. That you can expose me to anything cool that you like.
Trauma is like so lame, it's cool. It's you've heard of B movies. Trauma is like C-D level horror movies. And James Gunn came up through their camp, went on to make Slither. To me, it just hits all the beats of what I want a horror movie to be in Slither. So Tromeo and Juliet, tell them Freddie sent you. That was written by James Gunn, and Lloyd Kaufman, who's the head of Troma Studios, wanted it in iambic pentameter, just like William Shakespeare. James Gunn did that for a week. It drove him fucking insane. And then he just told Lloyd Kaufman he wrote it in iambic pentameter. I consider that one of the most watchable to a general audience, Tromeo and Juliet. The Toxic Avenger, that's how they got a lot of their popularity. Another one of the more watchable of the, like, I don't know if Sergeant Kabuki Man, the general audience would like, but they are really silly, and the practical effects of gore from the Troma movies. I don't know if you'd be scared by them, but they're horror adjacent. They're attempting horror.
Don't worry, I never watch scary movies to genuinely be afraid. It's just something that I spend way too much time consuming. Like, it doesn't have to be good. It can be cheesy. It can be silly. I'll watch it.
Spurgsnake giving his stamp of approval of Tromeo and Juliet being normie friendly. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole to go down. They're not good movies, but they really hit you in the funny bone. Different from the well done Tales from the Crypt movies. They are haphazardly done with. I called these low budget, next to no budget Tales from the Crypt. Cut that by a whole shitload to get your Troma movies. Oh, even the South Park guys, they couldn't sell their movie Cannibal the Musical to anybody except for Troma.
Wow.
Redneck Zombies, that's one Troma didn't make, but they bought up. I love that one in Maryland. It was made nearby where I lived. Blood-Sucking Freaks. I think there's a monster condom movie as well that I need to throw in, because in all of their VHSs they would have trailers for their other movies, and I definitely remember a killer condom movie that I actually never saw.
Wow, some interesting names.
Hell Comes to Frogtown, starring Roddy Piper. I just heard of that for the first time, Frog Tony. So I can't give a thumbs up or thumbs down to that one. Roddy Piper, it's got a thumbs in the middle automatically. They Live, that's a classic. Did you throw that one on your watch list?
I'll throw it on my watch list because I've not seen it.
Oh yeah, I'm just chock full of old man movies. What you kids have been watching? I don't know. I kind of dropped off after the year 2000s in new content. Only stuff here and there that I'm familiar with.
There's nothing new that's good. That's why delving into the older content is so much more fun and it's interesting because I don't know, there's just more life in that content than there is today.
The computer effects, relying solely on those, really, they used to put computer effects with practical effects. You'd have miniatures, you'd have puppets, and they fooled your eyes very well. Jurassic Park, originally from the early '90s, looks better than like Jurassic World because it's just all CGI in the new Chris Pratt ones.
And something I've also like complained about on other streams is I'm tired of like when you watch movies today or play video games today, I don't know if you've noticed a lot of them try to emulate like that old vibe, that old school look of movies. And I think that there is a place for that, but when every movie you're watching is like set in the 70s or the style that everyone's dressing as is 80, like I'm getting tired of it. Like we can have modern day like things set in modern times and it can still be good. Not everything has to play on nostalgia. That's why going back and watching something old is better than watching something new that's trying to remind you of old content. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's something that's bothered me.
I see what you're saying there. In another Creep Show is very similar in tone to Tales from the Crypt. They had two movies, and someone picked up the license in like 2015 and made a third one. You don't need to watch that one. But then they tried to make a TV series out of it on Chiller or one of those. I watched a couple episodes. It just didn't hit like the old movies or any of these Tales from the Crypt episodes. Frog Tony putting over
too hard.
Putting over Puppet Master series. I never watched any of those. Red Letter Media just came out with a huge review on a bunch of those Puppet Master movies. And actually, as much as we love puppets here in this community, I'm surprised I haven't gotten on that. But that's another one, as it went on, the Puppet Master series, and having those practical effects that they, they always had practical effects, but having the budget to really do stuff with the puppets that kind of went away with the later Puppet Master movies.
Nobody wants to hire 6 people to work a puppet anymore, and it shows.
You hire 2 people to do the CGI. Maybe it's just one guy. The manpower and the it's just easier. Like I understand it's easier to just for the filming to be like, oh, we'll do it in post. It's not even our problem anymore. We're just pushing it off to the post-production people in order to get these effects done. That is something that the animatronics industry and the puppets, there's still some people who can operate them, Frog Tony, but nowhere near what they used to at all. Same with animation, the hand-drawn animation. I miss those. I wish we had those in conjunction with the computer animation rather than no more hand-drawn animation at all.
Technology has fucked up a lot of things for us.
Yeah, I know it's easier just to put the blood in post, but squibs, exploding condoms. I didn't know if you were aware, that's exactly what those old blood packets were in those movies, were condoms filled up with like the syrup and red blood mixture and just explode them. And
I
that's how you make squibs.
I didn't know. That would be terrifying. Can you imagine if someone just threw a condom at you filled with fake blood?
I'm sure there were some left over that they would fuck around with each other on set with.
Yeah, like
Uh,
water balloons.
Blood balloon. Pfft.
Oh, can you imagine you just got your makeup done and someone throws one at you? They
Oh,
better
that fucks
run.
up everybody's day. You're probably getting sent home and not coming back if
Yeah.
you get one of the actors who's screen ready with that.
Oof. If you don't get fired, like the person who got blood ballooned after getting all their makeup done, like if you're Tim Curry and someone blood balloons you, if you have a job the next day, they must not really like Tim Curry. That's what I would think.
Look, just come in on the days where Tim's not here. You're done for this week. Great job. And no, he has to think that you're gone forever.
Yeah. Tim can never see your face here again, okay? If he shows up just to say hi, you start running. Go home. Don't get in your car. Just book it.
Thanks for joining today, Dalish. Fun little horror talk with you, and I know so many old people movies that I can help introduce you to that haven't been on your radar that I just know so well. So, what are some plugs before we get out of here?
Well, thank you for having me. I had a great time. It's always fun doing streams with you. If anybody wants to go follow me on my channels, you can Google me at Dirty Dalish. I'm also Dirty Dalish on YouTube. And yeah, Googling me is also a good way to find my spicier side. Thanks for having me on again, Dillon. This was great.
Absolutely. I'm glad that I could introduce you to some of my old favorites. When I did your Finding Love in the Dabbleverse show, I did lose points for a bunch of my favorites being way off your radar. So I like to introduce you and show you that they're a reason that they're my favorites. I understand they're off your radar, but here, get them on your radar.
You gained some points for this one, for these good episodes.
I think I had 2 points total at the end of Finding Love in the Dabbleverse, and all right, getting me back up to 2.5, 3.
5. No, I'll give you 5. We'll knock you up to 5. You deserve it.
Excellent. Thank you, and I have opinions of I watched damn near the whole thing since the beginning of September of Tales from the Crypt. So I can send you into a right direction, let you just frolic your own in the crypt, or give you specifics like the Brad Pitt episode that maybe skip if you actually want to enjoy what you're watching.
Right when I see Brad Pitt's name, just gonna go to the next episode.
That one belongs in season 7 with the rest of the below average. In making my list of best episodes and worst episodes, there's very few worst episodes, but that one I was like, this is definitely in the dishonorable mentions. It might make it to the absolute worst episodes.
Damn, poor Brad Pitt.
Tell him Freddie sent you, wondering about the John Lovitz episode. That one is a fun one about an actor. Let me look that up real quick. Another one I would recommend that's more silly than it is scary, but it fits along with the theme very well. The Demi Moore episode in season 2. I was thinking that was a season 1 top billing you are looking for is the episode with John Lovitz in it. Season 3, episode 5. So that is where you can find that one. Thank you for dropping in, Annie. You caught Dalish as we were getting in our plugs and a little bit of happy talk. I am here Tuesday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, for more shenanigans. I'll be back with a co-host audition, TikTok around the clock. Coming soon, James Rolfe book review. I've been looking forward to tackling that one for a while. I've got memberships. You can become a rope shooter for $4.99 a month. I'm going to start doing public domain movie watch-alongs the first Monday of every month. And should probably make it the second week where I'm going to cover slow adult speed dating from TikTok. And no, I'm not on it. I know after seeing me for this long, you're like, oh, you know the slow adult speed dating because you've been there. Nope. Believe it or not, did not get in on the slow adult speed dating.
No,
So
your
that's
slow adult speed dating was just Quest for Love in the Dabbleverse, and it did not go speedily.
It went so long that your headphones died. I had to vamp for a bit. Oh, that's kind of what today's episode was. You left me to vamp on your show. I left you to vamp on my show while I made an amateur mistake to get an echo in my ear.
You're just paying me back, you know? Or was I paying you back?
Yeah, that's the ticket. I meant to do that the whole time.
Yeah.
I meant to leave my show and give you a taste of your own medicine. Yeah, that's the ticket. And I do believe we have John Lovitz to tell us just that. Oh, fuck. I need to clean out this board. I've got too many video drops. I used to have That's the Ticket over here. It looks like I took it off.
Yeah, that's a ticket. Yeah.
I did not take it off. It's still there. So thank you for joining once again. Thank all you beloved chatters for joining. I saw a chat that said you folks were unhinged today. So glad you had fun on this episode where I was only checking in with you every now and then. Be back next week, and Dalish's content is out there. Search Dirty Dalish for some spicy videos. Thank you for joining. Now feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all. All join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LS, MFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right, dear honey, with the right left date. Grand right and left, around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girl. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LS, MFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.